Thank you everybody for being here. This is exciting for a lot of us that really love the garbage industry. And I don't mean that in a funny way. If you go back into the early 90s, there was a young man that played football for Spanish Fork High School, and I was very proud of being on special teams, okay? And so when Mayor Leifson every year would redo board appointments, I would say, you're not taking me off special teams, because it might not be the most glamorous board, but it is the most enjoyable board that I have sat on for the last 8 years, and making friends from Provo, Springville, Mapleton, Salem, Goshen, and Woodland Hills he's on his way, but getting to rub shoulders with our neighbor cities on this board is absolutely one of my favorite things to do. And so for those of you that don't know me, I'm Brandon Gordon. I'm a councilman from Spanish Fork City, and I'm the chairman of the South Utah Valley Solid Waste District right now. And so they asked that I conduct. I'll just say a few words before turning the time over to a couple other people, and really they'll kind of give us some rundown of the project. But it was about 7 or 8 years ago that we were considering a transfer station on a different site, not the site that you're on today. We were looking just a little further west, and it was interesting how things play out, because not long after, one of the deals that we were able to put together for South Utah Valley was joining a group called New Era, and we were able to sell off part of our landfill out in Bayview, and still had plenty of shelf life, if you will, at our landfill, but we were able to be part of a group that then we were able to inject some money into this project, as well as find this site that so happened to kind of work out with some of the development that's happening around us. And it's a good market to be selling the land where we currently sit in Springville. And so a lot of the things that have came to fruition in this project, have worked out really good for us as a district, as we stand here today. And so we're very proud of that, but and proud that we are finally breaking ground on a larger facility as well. We've learned a lot of things over the last 8 years when we first started talking about building a transfer station. And so I just applaud all of those that have been involved, former mayors, former council members, and those that are currently sitting on the board. And so I wanted to recognize those today. Not with us yet is Ben Hilliard from Woodland Hills. And then we have Mayor Staley from Goshen. And then we have George Handley sits on the board, but he's not here, so Bryce is filling in from Provo City. Councilwoman Delise Snyder from Salem. Councilman Reed Carlson from Mapleton, and Councilman Craig Jensen from Springville. Now, I know how impressed you all are. Mayor Mendenhall could never have remembered that many names, so just so everybody's clear, I'm very proud of being able to know all the people on the board. Okay, so I don't have anything else other to say than I just want to make sure and acknowledge the existing management of South Utah Valley. Terry Ficklin has done a wonderful job, and then his right and left hand, I call them M&M, Michelle and Mark. They basically, wonderful logistics. I'll tell you a real life example story today. And meat processing facility in Spanish Fork called me today and said, hey, we've kind of got a problem. And I said, okay, what's the problem? And she says, the people that take the 10 tons of bones and leftover carcass of the meat processing that we do here at our facility, they told me that May 11th, we don't have anywhere to take this 10 tons 5,000 pounds of this material. What do I do? And I said, I got the right guy. And so I called Mark Lovelace, and he's like, let me get working on some stuff. And I can't tell you how many times those conversations happen, because I don't want Amazon to know that there's someone that's that good at logistics and trucking and knowing things about, like, well, I know we could do this, we can move this here, and these types of things. And it's pretty amazing what this management team at South Utah Valley does every day to make sure that our garbage is picked up. And they work with like Republic. We appreciate Reese being here from Republic. So they haul for us in Spanish Fork, and some of our member cities haul their own garbage. But the logistics of making sure everyone's garbage is picked up on time, I just applaud every single effort that gets put together. And so thank you from me and on behalf of our council and Spanish Fork and the other member cities. We just really appreciate all that you've done. And one last person that I will also highlight is Nick. Nick's been so influential for us in helping us pick a great partner, Hughes. We're excited to work with them on this project as well, and Nick has been wonderful with Forsgren in helping us guide us along the way for this design of this building. So I'll turn some time over to Terry Ficklin. He'll talk to us a little bit, say a few words. After Terry, we'll hear from Nick Patterson from Forsgren. Jim Child will talk about the architectural design, and then we'll have the groundbreaking with the golden shovel ceremony. Okay.
Thanks, Brandon. This is truly a momentous occasion, both for me and for us as a district, because it's something that we've certainly been hoping for many years. We outgrew our transfer station probably 5 years ago, and that was after making lots of adjustments. And so we're just hanging on by the tips of our fingers right now, waiting for this facility to be built. But in its day, 30 plus years ago, it was state of the art. It was the first concept of bringing your trash to a local transfer station for us in this area, and then utilizing our Bayview landfill. And the foresight of Provo City, that was the author of our backbone that many years ago, and then their willingness to share what they had accomplished, because prior to that time, they had already been working on Bayview prior to them approaching the cities. I know some of this history because I happened to be sitting at the time with Salem City's City Council when Provo came and did their presentation to Salem, and I was actually on the board that voted to become a member of South Utah Valley Solid Waste District. How's that for irony? Okay. And this also goes to show what happens with council assignments. After 20 years with Salem City, almost, even on a couple of years that I wasn't on council, I was still on the technical committee of South Utah Valley. And after all those years of being on city with representing Salem for South Utah Valley, I learned a lot about solid waste, learned about a lot about the trash business. And some 12, almost 13 years ago, I was then the chairman of the board when our then manager decided to retire early so he could go on a mission for his church. So we've made a lot of adjustments since then and a lot of changes. We evaluated many of the components like composting and the best way to facilitate that. We've always tried to do what we could with recycling. We feel like it's our responsibility to be the end-of-life provider for the public. So whatever it is you've got, it's our job to help you to finish its end of life, whether it's at the landfill, at a recycling facility, at a MRF, maybe it's into the composting areas and other stuff. So our process then, we also have developed you're going to hear about household hazardous waste. We've been pulling the household hazardous waste items, and we also take care of the tires and the metal, and we try to redirect as much as we possibly can. That's what a transfer station is for, is to bring everything to one location. It's our job to kind of sort it out and then send it to the best resources that we have as a special service district. So I can't thank enough my employees that have worked so hard, and right now they're working in extremely tight circumstances, and this last Monday, for example, we actually did over 1,000 tons of trash in one day. And we used to, that's going to become pretty normal for us. We've been averaging 700 and 800 since Spanish Fork helped us with some flow control here and with Republic's help. And that kind of leveled the playing field. But now we're to the point where all those numbers are coming up, and we're hitting 8, 9, almost. And like I said, this week we hit 1,000 tons, and the summer just began. So we're going to be seeing a lot. So this building is a real necessity, and I'm proud of all the work that's gone into it, and especially for all the mayors and the city council members over the years that have worked so hard to support us, to help us come up with ideas and solutions. These past 12 years that I've been able to be with the service district in a different capacity. So thank you very much for attending. Because of the wind, we moved a bunch of stuff indoors. When we're done here, feel free to go in. We've got some donuts and some cookies, I think, and a television will kind of show you kind of some of the different parts of the transfer station, some of the visual stuff, and also some swag. So thank you very much for coming. I appreciate all of you, and thank you.
All right. Well, first off, I want to thank Terry for the past 8 years that we've been working on this project. Like we had talked about earlier, the initial idea was to build this further west, and this is where it ended up. But what I want to do is I want to talk to you just for a sec about what this new facility is going to be compared to probably most all of you that have lived here that have been and seen what they currently have, right? So this is going to be a 109,000 square foot indoor transfer station. Everything, anytime you come to the transfer station now, you'll actually come inside the building to drop off your waste. Everything, anything that you bring will be inside the building. So all the stuff that you see that's outside right now is going inside the building and will be processed there. There'll actually be 3 different buildings. There'll be the transfer station, then there'll be the administration building. Actually, for administration building, a big new household hazardous waste. The district currently has a separate transportation hub here in Spanish Fork. So all that's now being combined into this one location. And then there's HHW, and then also an administration building. So the household hazardous waste, your paints, your solvents, all that stuff that you shouldn't put in your garbage can, if you are now, try not to. It comes to the HHW and it's processed properly, right? So right now that's all outside. Everything that you see is outside, even the trash, right? Because they can't close the building each night. So long overdue. Terry mentioned the amount of waste that they're getting now. This new facility is sized for 1,600 tons per day and actually has an ultimate capacity of 2,400 tons per day with 3 compactors working full time. So the district made the board made some decisions during the design to actually increase the size, right? This is the one chance that the district gets to make it the size that they need and more, which ultimately led to that 110,000 square feet. So groundbreaking's great. We still got 2 years until construction's complete. So looking forward to that day that we can cut that ribbon and move these guys over to the new transfer station. So thank you.
Well, Nick covered most of the functional sides of things there very well, and Terry did too. And that is also a real indication of what we've worked with for the last year or so, to their understanding of the flow and the things they've tried to do to make this work as efficiently as possible and to do exactly what Terry has talked about, but to find the best possible end resting place for everything that's given to them. It's just been an incredible process. You know, garbage may not sound like the most architecturally exciting thing to work with, but we really have enjoyed working through, as I say, that whole operation and how to make it as efficient as possible. And the support that we've received from Terry's team and Nick's team, and now from the Hughes team in this process, has just been unbelievable to make this as an excellent facility that will continue to serve the citizens. You know, one of the things that Nick hit upon was that as architects, we have really come to focus a lot on sustainability and recycling and those kinds of things in our buildings and what we do and what we design. And so this is just a very, definitely the first step in that, because it's the recycling, it's where does this stuff come from, but it's also where do things end up. And so we're excited to be a part of that, part of the solution to better serve the citizens around in the area and to each of the communities. And so I'm going to just leave it at that and just tell you, hope that you all get to enjoy this facility for many years to come. Thank you.
Mayor Christensen, Mayor Mendenhall, did you see how I started a meeting 12 minutes late and got back on time? Just wanted to make sure that you're both well aware of how that happens. For a council meeting, start late. Okay, Mark, did you have anything you wanted to say on behalf of Hughes? I don't want to put you on the spot, but we'd love to have you just...
Yeah, I'll just say a couple words.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You know, it's kind of neat listening to these guys talk a little bit. I didn't realize it'd been 8 years that you guys were working together. I knew it had been a long time. I thought the 18 months that we've been doing design had been a little while, but 8 years, man, that's a neat accomplishment. So I've been with Hughes for a long time. We actually built the transfer station just down the road a little ways back in, I think it was 1992. I was in probably high school, or just before high school maybe when that happened. But we're honored to be part of the team. We're honored to work with Nick, with Forsgren. We're honored to work with Terry and JRCA. So we're excited about this project. We're going to make it a good project. We're going to work hard and give you a good building when we're all said and done. Thank you.
We put you down on that end. All right, foot on, 1, 2, 3, right? All right, very good. Turn, little nice turn there. Yeah, just like you're planting. Good work. Let's get her built. Thank you, everyone. Let's get her done.